In this video, I'm going to be sharing my experiences about my relocation journey. You know, it's been a while since I last posted my progress on my channel, and this is because, a lot has been happening behind the scenes, and I realized that there are a few things that I've been doing wrong, and they were all due to a lot of pressure that I put on myself because I was seeing other people achieve certain things in a timely manner. So I've learned that when it comes to retirement, which is what this video is about, not everyone is working or starting from the same playing field, because others may have started this journey a long time ago, put money aside, but when you see someone doing something, for me, I would think that, maybe they've just decided to do this and that's why they're doing it now. And of course, I know it sounds silly to think that because you don't know their process, you don't know their savings, you don't know their dreams. So I want to start off by giving you an example, okay? So let's say I see someone that wants to do broiler chickens, and they've built a chicken run and everything's all in place. I come across their video on YouTube. I feel inspired, and then I say, you know what? Let me copy this guy, exactly what he's doing, because I think this is the right approach and the right journey to take. Because if he's doing it and he's successful, therefore I'm going to be successful too, right? At least that's what one tells themselves. So in this example that I've given, you've seen someone build a chicken run and you want to do the same thing. But what may differ here is the guy who's building a chicken run has a plan that you're not aware of. All you're seeing is what he's showing you. So this guy, let's assume that while he's doing his 1,000 broilers per batch, the first batch where he makes a profit, what does he do? He goes and he invests his money into a blast freezer. Whereas on the other hand, I'm copying this guy and I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I've got 3,000 profit. I don't have a car. Maybe I should buy a Honda Fit just so I can just get from point A to point B, because a car is very important and it's needed. But this guy that I'm copying hasn't bought a car, but he silently bought a blast freezer. So time goes on. We're into batch number 2. We're trying to sell and the market is flooded. There's so many chickens on the market. Because I don't have a blast freezer, I'm stressing now and I'm struggling on who is going to come and buy these chickens in one go so I can get rid of them. Because the more I buy chicken feed, the more it's going to cost me because I'm eating now into my profits. Whereas this guy that I've been copying, he slaughtered his chickens at the right time and they're all in the blast freezer. And even though the market is flooded, he's selling at a slower pace, but he hasn't lost money because he hasn't fed his chickens extra days or extra weeks. Because when it was time to slaughter, he slaughtered them. Month 3, this guy with the blast freezer now decides to put a second chicken run. Now, do you know what I'm going to feel if I started off the same as this guy? I'm going to start to think, he must be doing something. We both started off with 1,000 chickens each. How is he making so much money that he's buying a what? That he's building the second chicken run. And you see where the trouble comes now. This is where I will start thinking, something is up. Maybe he's using magic. If it's a woman, maybe that's a front. Because behind the scenes, there's someone funding that business. Do you see now where things starts going crazy? Batch 4. At batch 4, this guy now that I'm copying expands. He buys another what? Another blast freezer. And at batch number 8, he decides to buy a car which is ideal for the farm. He buys a pickup truck. And this guy that bought a Honda Fit, that was his major mistake. And in this example, that guy that bought the Honda Fit is me. I can't move. So eventually what happens now, we start saying, this chicken business doesn't work. It doesn't work because I've tried it. It doesn't work. It's mainly because we are operating from copying without understanding the vision of what that person is going through. And this is why lately you've seen that when people start doing the sabuku deals, everyone is doing sabuku deals. Sabuku, 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 sabuku. And then you're wondering, oh my goodness, why is everyone doing this? And then you feel left out. You feel so left out that you really have to do this. You see, I remember a time, and correct me if I'm wrong, the movement of relocating to Zimbabwe, I did it at a time when everyone was talking negative about Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is messed up. It has potholes, the electricity this, the health this. Everyone was against it. And to a point where some people thought I was actually working for the government to promote Zimbabwe, because I did it at a time when Wadimaya came. So as time went on, these two young men, Kundai Chitima and Kevin Biriot, they started making videos showcasing people who were silently building their retirement homes. And these are the people who, they don't show off, they do their things quietly, no pressure, because they have They have a plan, and they know exactly where they're going, and they're not stressed about what the next person thinks. They just believe that, you know what, I want to retire in Zimbabwe. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm just going to go with this journey. So fortunately, these young men, they started showcasing these houses. And then you know what happens? The copying disease came in. And so many people started doing the same thing. Retirement home. And then it became a competition of who's building the biggest house, who's building the best double-story house, who's doing this, do you see what I mean? And as a result, that area got flooded with these sabuku deals to a point where, you know, when you talk about something so much, it becomes so popular to a point where, you know, it just spoils everything for everyone. And now the spotlight was on the sabuku deals. And guess what? From time to time, I'm hearing that there's now issues with people with these sabuku deals. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because I have no idea, the process and what needs to be done there. My point is, a lot of people flooded into it because of the copying disease. And this particular thing, I fell for it because back in the day, I could see people saying, let's buy combis. People would be buying combis. We're going back 2001. Buying combis. Everyone starts buying combis. Trucks. Everyone starts buying trucks. And then you need to get a mortgage. And then everyone starts getting mortgages. Oh, you need to drive a nice car here. Everyone starts getting a nice car. So it's more like if someone starts something, it becomes a trend. If someone starts something, it becomes a trend. So what I've learned in all of this is I need to map out my own journey and not react on what people are doing. And since I started implementing that for the past 12 months, I've realized that Ruwa Organic now has a clear strategy and it has a clear path, and I can see where I'm going because I've put blinkers. I'm not watching what this person is doing or what that person is doing. I'm just focused on on my journey. And I think, and this is my opinion, by the way, I think if you really want to be successful with your retirement or doing anything back home on the ground in Zimbabwe, you have to run your own race because you don't know what people are doing in order for them to achieve what they're achieving. I'll give you another good example. Someone may look at Ruwa Organic and say, this guy, he's doing this at his farm, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this. How is he able to do that? because at the end of the day, I'm just showing you the end result. It's the videos of, look, I'm now building a house at the farm. Look, I've now cleared the whole land at the farm. I'm now planting this, and now I have water at the farm. I'm just showing you the what? The process. Yes, I also share the ups and downs, which a lot of people don't share, because I believe in helping, people, because sometimes things may look easy on the outset. And I've said this several times on this channel. You see, sources of income matter when it comes to planning a relocation. As for me, I've had to do without a lot of things in order for my relocation journey to what? To work. For example, just recently, since I came here, I've been using public transport. Not because I can't afford a car, but because buying a car for $5,000, because I believe in buying cars cash. I don't believe in hire purchase or whatever these schemes where you start paying every month for 5 years. I don't believe in that. I believe in putting my money together and just buying a car. I drive it. If it fails or it breaks, whatever it is, so be it. That's what I believe in. So for nearly 2 years now that I've been here, I've been driving I haven't been driving. I've been using public transport. So just that alone is a massive difference between someone who wants to plan his relocation back home, because they're paying $400, $300 a month towards a car, whereas to me, towards a car every month, towards my transport, it's very minimal. So already, I have a bit of money left over here. Secondly, maybe you have a mortgage. You're paying X amount and you've paid a massive deposit of, let's say, 50 grand for a $500,000 house. And then you start paying your monthly payments, whatever it is. We're already different. So it's going to be very difficult for someone to copy what Ruwa Organic is doing, because our finances are not the same. Our priorities are different. Just recently, I bought a car, a Honda Civic. In fact, I'll do a video about it if anyone is interested. I bought a Honda Civic for £200. Actually, it's a funny story because I thought this car was going to be a really good car, but it turns out there was a lot of things wrong with it. But anyway, I've fixed all those things, and it's actually quite a decent car. I like it. I enjoy it. It's manual. I like driving manual cars. I really, really love the car. It's 2000 and I think it's 2009. Is it 2009? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, it's a very old car. Anyway, that's a video for another day. So I also have different sources of income in terms of how I earn my money. So for example, one may be relying on one job to try and do their relocation process, but I have 2, 3 sources of income. Some of them I don't even disclose them here because I feel like, it's not anyone's business, So it is very difficult to try and say, he's doing this, I'm going to what? Copy that. So for me, when I saw that, I realized that, you know what? I need to start doing my own thing. I shouldn't be, I hear someone saying, roadrunners, I run to roadrunners. Broilers, straight to broilers. Cabbages, no. I should be doing things in my own pace. Right now, it seems like we are all competing. We're in competition. So, in order to not become disappointed, one should just run their own race. Focus on their own mission. And not say, I want to do better than Ruwa Organic. I mean, of course, it's good inspiration. I want to do better than Ruwa Organic. But you don't know what I'm going to do next. And that is why I gave that example. All right? I gave that example in the beginning. You don't know what my next plan is. Today, I may have all these vegetables, just cover. In 2 weeks' time, I may even get rid of it. But in the meantime, that's what you want to copy. Then what? And it's expensive. And then what? Right now, I'm building a small cottage at the farm. You may say, I want to build a retirement house now, the big house on my farm. You spend 200,000 building that house. With me, that 200,000, I'm saying, I want to spend 20,000 on my house. The 180,000, if I do have it, I'm going to use it towards having, let's say, blast freezers at the farm and invest in a solar farm. And now I have my energy sorted. Do you see what I mean? So, yes, it may be a good idea that we all want to retire, but one has to sit down and decide what their path is according to their means. Otherwise, you're going to feel so overwhelmed. You're going to feel like your life is not moving forward, or what's wrong with me? Why aren't my things not working out? Because even this quick example, you may be trying to let's say, do farming, cell-phone farming, because Ruwa Organic is doing it. I have people on the ground that I trust. You may have someone that you think you trust, but they're not doing a good job for you. Therefore, that alone is both cell-phone farming, but I have someone who is what? Who is trustworthy, and you don't. And that alone is the difference between losing 40,000 or 20,000 and one succeeding. And then you're going to feel so depressed, so down, because you've lost so much money. Because you're trying to copy Ruwa Organic, because Ruwa Organic is doing what? Is doing cell-phone farming. So that in itself is a very, very big challenge. And I know it's almost in our bloodstream as Zimbabweans to copy each other. But that can be detrimental, because you just don't know what the next person is doing and what they have in place in order for them to be successful. As for me, I'm willing to go for the next 7 years making losses. But is that the case for you? Maybe not. So I may start to become successful after 7 years of investing on the farm. I'll just give you another good example. Let's say at Ruwa Organic, I've cleared all the land. It's now ready for open farming, right? I may start investing slowly into the soil, which, because of my philosophy of farming, I want everything to be organic. I don't want anything to do with fertilizers or chemicals. I want to try by all means necessary not to have any chemicals. So I start investing on what? On the soil, because from what I've been reading and from what I've been coming across, investing on the soil is one of the best things that you can ever do. But you know what? It takes time. A piece of land which is 2 hectares or even 1 hectare, that's a football ground. Having it to a level where it has the right pH, the soil has the right nutrients and everything, it takes time. Especially if it was barren land or bare land which has that crazy grass that is very difficult to get rid of. It takes time. So everyone else is thinking, you know what? I'm going to use fertilizers. While in my first 3 years, I'm willing to buy manure, putting it on the ground, making sure my ground is fertile so that when it's time to plant, I just plant. So again, this is another example. I've been investing in my land, right? So you're saying Ruwa Organic has 1 hectare? I have 1 hectare. Ruwa Organic wants to do onions, or he wants to do vegetables. I also want to do cabbages. So what happens now is we both go and start planting. I've been working on my land, making sure that it's organic and everything for the past 3 years. You haven't. Now it's time to plant. We plant the same amount of what? Of plants. Maybe it's cabbages. A few people taste my cabbages, and obviously I'm going to promote mine as they're organic. The cabbages are sweet. It's very nice even in the salads. Ruwa Organic gets a contract with Kevin the wedding planner or some big guy who does all these events, because you know the cabbages and the quality of my vegetables is next level. You have used fertilizers. The cabbage is bitter. You can taste the chemicals in the cabbages. I'm not saying that's all the case. That's every single case. I'm just giving you this example. So you are spending, let's say, 4,000 on your fertilizers, or maybe 3,000 on your fertilizers. I'm not. Already, I'm 3,000, 4,000 ahead. Plus, my cabbages now are selling at a higher price because they're higher quality. Just that alone, we both have 1 hectares. The end result is going to be different. And this is where now you're going to start hating Ruwa Organic, thinking, there's something that he's doing. Because how is he selling, his stuff like this? How is he doing this? How is he achieving? Do you see what I mean? It's because I have a vision and I have a plan. Maybe I haven't even mentioned it. Sometimes intentionally and maybe not intentionally. So my advice is, in order for you not to be too stressed and too depressed about things not working out, chances are you are feeling left out. You're feeling like you're under pressure because everyone else is doing this. If I don't do this, I'm going to be left out. I often say to my children, because I talk to them a lot, try to give them some life lessons. I used to say to my eldest sons, if you see majority of people doing something, run away. Don't follow the what? The majority. Pause and think about where the missing gaps are. So in that curve where the majority are here in the middle, be on the outskirts here, where you're planning your own thing, you're doing your own thing, you're not stressing because everyone else is doing something. No. Similarly, to a degree, yes, I do also fall into that trap, which is why I think I rushed and I lost a lot of money. It was pressure. I wanted to do this retirement in a very short time, and I put in all the money in. It was pressure, time. Why? Because I used to see people, succeeding on their farms. But I didn't realize that they have invested so much on their farms quietly at their own pace. I'm only seeing the end result. No. Even putting a greenhouse is expensive. So you can go to someone's farm, you see a greenhouse and you think, I want a greenhouse too. But that greenhouse, in order for you to make your money back for that greenhouse, it's probably going to take you 2 years. But that person has made his money back from the greenhouse already. So I'm always going to be constantly playing catch up, and it can be very stressful. So now I've learned to accept that farming is a long-term gain. If in terms of sports, it's a long-distance marathon. You can't get everything all done in one go. It's not a sprint. If you sprint a farm process, or in my case, at least my experiences, I had sleepless nights, crying, because I'm applying the wrong strategy on the wrong on the wrong mission. So it's very, very important to sit down, make a plan, your own plan according to your own means, because I see some people taking loans. Imagine you're going to take a loan for 10,000 because you want to put money in a piggery project. You're doing it remotely because you heard that pigs are selling. Or you take money. I know some young guys there in Zimbabwe, they were saying, tobacco, we're going into tobacco. And I'll be like, but how much tobacco are you going to be planting? Because, sometimes with farming, it's the numbers. It's a numbers game. This is something else I also learned. Initially, if your numbers are low, you can actually make a loss. It only starts making sense when you talk about big numbers. So even that alone, you are rushing because you heard it's making money, and you feel you're so desperate, and you feel you're so left out, and then you rush. Even sometimes the houses that people are building, of course, everyone can do whatever they want. But if it was me, The last thing I'll ever do is to spend 80,000, 100,000, 200,000 building a retirement home without securing the income that I'll be getting while I'm retired. Because I know for a fact that that massive house will not produce money for me, especially if it's a house at the farm. I can't rent it out. What am I going to do with it? Actually, it's just going to cause a lot of envy from my neighbors anyway, right? So I would use a farm as a place to what? To make money. If I want to build a big house, then I go to a residential area and build it there. The farm can never be the place where I would build a massive house and make it a retirement home, because I would use that 100,000 or 200,000 to build that house to make sure that I have 3 sources of income on that farm. Because when I retire, I know I have a 500 coming from here, I have 1,000 coming from here every month, I have 200 coming here, I have 800 coming from here. That in itself, in my opinion, is a retirement that is well calculated, which is not based on pressure, which is not based on, I feel so left out. It's very important. And not everyone has the same vision. So in order for you not to fall into this trap of, I feel so left out. No, run your own race, look at your income, look at your finances. Some people may be going into these loans, which are high interest loans, because you feel like, I have to do this now because Mr. X is doing this. Do your own race. As for me, from what I've learned, when you run your own race and you do things in your own pace, in your own time, things are working much better. And as a matter of fact, on Ruwa Organic right now, I have come to a point where I am glad that I slowed down. I've taken time to calculate and plan things, even though they're taking longer. Because on one hand, I felt like I was letting a lot of people down because I was trying to show people that I'm doing what I'm doing and it's working and so on. I had to slow down. And that is why even sometimes the videos, if there's nothing to talk about, I don't talk, because there's no progress that's happening at the farm. But now, I think this is the happiest I've been with the progress that's happening at Ruwa Organic. And the progress that's happening right now at Ruwa Organic has never happened before. And this is 5 years in, 4 years in. And this is 4 years of losing money. We're talking about, I would say, close to 150, 180,000 gone down the drain. So the question is, are you willing to lose that before you start making money? Because at least that's my journey. Anyway, that's all I had to say today. The most important thing is hang around with like-minded people who share the same vision, and not just rush because you feel that everyone else is moving fast and you feel so left out. In most cases, you're going to end up making emotional decisions, and emotional decisions are the worst decisions that you can ever make. You need to be making calculated decisions. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I have a lot of updates and a lot of videos lined up. I was supposed to have done the video of the 2 young men who started their business called Tumami. I think I'll be doing that over the weekend. It's been quite busy, and I'm also working on the updates for Kumusha investors. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll be curious to hear your comments. Is this something that you also did? And if so, let me hear your story in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.